Leo, how you doing? Just very quickly, I don't know what happened with your channeled stuff, whether the fan was actually hitting that or not, so I don't know whether it's out until I've edited it. If I did, then obviously it's out. If it's not, it's something. You could be dealing with a Pisces, afraid not. I think a lot of you it's over anyway. Just generally going over some of your channel stuff. I feel a lot of you, it's very frustrating. I think that some of you are really sexually frustrated or some kind of very strange sexual fucking thing that's going on in your reading. And I think someone's completely finished and had enough, and it was all really about moving on, not playing games, moving on, blocked energy and physically left, gone, forgot the past and pretty much moved on away from each other, because I think that the energy just isn't working, and whatever it is that somebody wants someone to do, the other person isn't, and it's too confusing, and the other person is basically finished, gone, left, and left it. Because to be honest, when I was doing your channel stuff, I was getting so pissed off and fed up, like not being able to figure it out, that all I could really pick out was a lot of mind games, manipulation, and like very strange, weird, sexual desired energy, and just like so confusing that I think that it just, whatever was not working. Because if I'm honest, I think a lot of you have probably given it another go, but realised that it isn't. Okay, and then I think that well, if you're not, one of you is realising that it's not working. So I think that both of you need to come to that terms and realise that it isn't working. So I think that what you're doing is well, what you should be doing is drifting apart, but I don't think you are. I think someone's going to continue to torment the other person. I really do. Because I keep hearing this tormenting someone. So it was around sex and stuff like that. So I don't know if you got any mental manipulation, but I can still feel it in my head. And to be honest, Leo, I just want to get away. So, so like I said, I think that one person here is playing mind games, manipulating the other person. The other person's like fucking blocked the other person. Okay, but I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to get away from your energy, because it is so confusing that I just don't want a part of the energy, because I can't figure it out. I can, but I can't explain it. That's what I'm saying. So it is so weird and so strange and so controlling and narcissistic in my head that it's just fucking, I don't know. It's got to be gaslighting or mind games for a lot of you. Okay, so that's all I'm going to put that down to. So let's have a look. So what's Leo got coming up, please? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, North Node for August for Leo. August for Leo. But like I said, if your channeled stuff didn't come out, it's because the fan was hitting the microphone there. Okay. See, someone's hitting someone here, maybe hitting someone, or like lashing out and very violent, like a Sagittarian energy or a Taurus. Very violent, like really lashing out, like really, I don't know, what is that? But like really lashing out at somebody here. So let's see. You could be dealing with a Gemini for a lot of you, okay? Moving on, moving away, but Leo for August, okay? 5 of Cups, there you go. So you could have been dealing with that, but I wasn't really concentrating on Leo. So you could be dealing with a Gemini, which was the 6 of Swords, okay? But moving on, moving away, you got the 5 of Cups. So again, somebody is now guilty or trying to make the other person feel guilty for doing whatever it is that they may or may not have done. That's why I think it's over. Someone is just basically concentrated on all of the time of things that have lost. All of the time, what they're not getting out of a relationship. They're not getting anything from it anymore, okay? So I'm getting so frustrated with these 5s, because I can hear them and think them and feel them in my head. This is either a life path 5, a Sagittarius, or a Taurus placement maybe, of someone that just repetitively keeps going over all these fucking 5s. This is why it must be a 5 life path or a Sagittarian or a Taurus placement of anything that they ever have is never really good enough. There might be something that whatever it is that you find is not good enough, like a desire that you seem to have, or your person is never really satisfied with anything. It's also what I'm hearing. To be honest with you, I have that around objects. I can get something and then I just can't seem to find, like, I don't know, just like, sorry, there's a personal message there for me, is objects of things, being satisfied with what you have, okay. Let's see. So single, there you go. So you got Virgo energy. So yeah, there's a hell of a lot of confusion. I think you're just single. Just do not equivocally. If this cycle has gone on, Leo, for time and time and time and time again, do not go back anymore, right? Do not go back, because I know I wouldn't. Okay, so do not go back now. Just move on and go forward and be single and find someone fresh and new, because Cancerian, they had this, is heading towards the North Star, was finding a new person, a new thing, or a new project, or basically doing something with a person that makes you feel good. If there's a person here that always makes you feel shit and bad, and the connection is worn and it's fed up and it's just never worked, if it never has, it never will. Okay, so if you've constantly gone through these fives, because you had all those fives a while back, and I keep hearing it in my psychic head of all of these fives. Okay, and it's someone that can try and coach someone back into by being guilty, making them feel guilty for what they've done. You see, this can be a guilty pleasure as well. It can be a sexual act by a sociopath. It can be someone that they can never seem to be like sexually satisfied with any. It doesn't have to be a sociopath. I'm fed up with people like having a go at me about sociopaths, empaths, fucking, I don't know. I don't really care. All I'm hearing is that somebody is never satisfied emotionally with what they may have in the relationship itself. And because they're never really satisfied with the person, don't go back. Don't come back either, okay, is what I'm hearing. Don't come back. There's no way back now. I'm single, I'm fresh, I'm available. Because I think your channel stuff was a lot about every time I tried to move on, do you come back and make me feel guilty for something, right? So I'm definitely hearing this energy of, like, I'm not going to feel guilty about whatever it is that you've got going on in your life. I am no longer going to remained in a low vibration of 5. I'm actually moving on with my life, and now looking into health, fitness, feeling good about myself, and not really constantly being dragged down through the hedge backwards of feeling lonely and vulnerable and, you know, all those kind of things. So, like, the energy is like, you know, if you tried once before, don't come back, you know, because I think the energy is going to be blocked here, because it's going to be an equivocal no. I can feel it. Don't come back, because that could be like a 5 of Pentacles, 5 of Swords, and don't come back. Like, you're out and don't come back ever again, is what I'm hearing. Get out and don't come back ever again, okay, is what I'm hearing. So whether that be someone being kicked out of the house or the home, or just basically the connection itself, just don't come back, is what I'm hearing. Don't even bother coming back. Don't even bother coming back to explain either, okay. So I'm fresh, I'm single, and now I'm available to do whatever I like. Good energy, Leo. So let's see, Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, North Node for August. So yeah, keep going, just keep going on here, keep going. 8, Leo, Aquarians, so you got like paradox energies. So, because you're obviously a Leo, but you also relate as an Aquarian 8. So you got Virgo, life path 9, life path 5, life path 9, life path 8. Okay, so you got Virgo, Taurus, Sagittarius placement, and then Aquarius, Leo placement. Continuing to go on your own way is what I'm hearing. Okay, so I'm going to do things my own way, and I'm going to continue, because 8 is like a completely left. 7 is running, 8 is gone. Okay, so it's like I have gone. I'm not going to come back either. I have actually physically gone. Okay, so let's see. Left the past behind. That does not mean let's leave all of the shit behind and continue to do the same thing. This energy here means let's leave the past behind and completely call it quits and move on now. If you've tried this over and over again with a person, now Spirit is saying now is the final countdown. It is time to move on. Okay. If you want this person to change, they're not going to. If you want to move on and your Leo's watching and you want to move on, I really feel like you are doing now. Okay. If you're not, the other person is, and it's to do with around a Pisces. Afraid not, because I'm hearing now I'm afraid not. I moved on. I've gone my own way now. I'm not going back into this 5 of Cups any longer. Okay. So let's see. Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, North Node. So yeah, you see, here we go. 5 again. No. So then you got 4 of Swords. Now you got Scorpio. No one's interested in these 5s, Sagittarius or Taurus, or like whoever, I don't know, but no one's interested in these 5s. Because if you go back, it's going to fight. I mean, I don't know why people do, but I mean, you are. It's kind of like someone's like really trying to get person into these 5 energies. into mind games, manipulation. They think it's a game. It's not. So someone's moved on. Okay, I'm sorry, but I'm getting so fed up with your reading. I'm sorry, Leo. I'm not attacking you. I'm just like so pissed off with all of these 5 energies that it's just so difficult to like figure this person out that they keep wanting a person to change that fights with them and doesn't want them. They keep fighting to get back into an energy that doesn't want the person. So why fight for it? Leave right here, because the 5 energy is coming back up again. Somebody gets tormented, the other person doesn't want to play games with them. So they get fed up, they get pissed off. So the other person is gone. This is laying it all to rest and putting it all down and calling it quits and saying no. Okay, so if you can say no, good. If you can't and you're trying to get back in, the other person's saying no. Okay. Because these cards here do not mean yes. These cards here do not mean this is a great connection. This all means no, leave, out, I've gone. Okay, so it means no. No means no. If you haven't had an answer and you're blocked, that means no. That does not mean yes. If you've been looking for an answer, 11:11 on the clock. If you've been looking for a metaphysical answer to something you've been searching for forever and you've never found it, that means you're not going to. Okay, there isn't an answer to that. Okay, if you've been blocked, that's because the person's blocked and they've gone. Okay, if you are just broke up and you've tried and tried and tried and tried again, it's not going to. It's not working. Okay, and it won't. All of these are little minor cards, but they're very major in what someone makes of it. What I'm saying is that 5 energies can make a drama out of a crisis, because they all mean that. They're a minor card, but they're all very fucking major feelings and emotions and manipulation and everything else that comes along with 5. So what it's telling me is that somebody makes more out of it and plays games out of very minor little things. They take things very personally and they get very upset and very emotional very quickly, and they have a short temper and a short fuse, and it just takes one thing to set this person off on then someone trying to work it out with a person where it doesn't. So they could have like an extremely bad temper, okay, compared to another person that is very vulnerable but wants to keep fighting for the person that won't fight for them. So it's a person that plays a game that leaves one, and then they play a game with like, okay, I'm not talking to you, I'm not with you, I'm trying to get you to chase me and hunt me down to see if you actually want to be with me. But the person keeps proving that they don't. That's why there's no communication here. So it's kind of like a person plays a game of like, well, you wouldn't fight for me and you wouldn't chase for me, would you? No, it's because there's no feelings here. There's no emotions. There is no chasing and running. It's because the person has gone and has left. So whoever it is that may be trying to play a game with the other person to get their attention, they're not bothered. It's because they're not. Because, you know, you can have those situations in life where someone's like, oh, you won't fight for me, will you? You won't like fight for my attention and you won't be with me because I need you. No. That's what I'm hearing. No. Like I said, it really is. It's someone that fights for the other person, and they play stupid little games with someone to get their attention, and when they realise the other person's really not fucking bothered and really not paying attention, they probably reach out to the person to say, oh, you wouldn't really care if I didn't speak to you for the rest of the world, or like you wouldn't care if like I was to leave your life forever. And I think the other person's saying, no, I don't really care, to be honest. I've already gone. Like, I'm not even with you. I don't even want to be. So whoever it is that's playing games is basically playing games with themselves, of realising that when the other person doesn't want to play anymore, they're not a child, they're an adult, and they've grown up and they're pretty much moved and left. So you've constantly got whatever it was that happened in your reading last month and the month before that, where all of these 5s came up. This same scenario is now appearing up again exactly as it did before. This is why this is telling me that this is completely over and finished. And what you both should be coming to terms with is that you don't need to communicate. You basically just need to drift slowly apart from one another and actually be single or meet someone new, okay? Because you could be going towards someone new, okay? So I would say, equivocatively, do not go back with your ex. Do not stay attached to someone that does not change. Do not try to change them the way you want to mould them in situation or the other person, okay? And physically realise that a pig is a pig and it's got lipstick on it, and that is pretty much what it is. And if they're pig-headed and stubborn and arrogant and will not change for you that tries to change them, then keep trying to change each other and physically drift apart and meet other people. Because this scenario is bollocks and it is not working. So Spirit is saying this is never going to really work. If you've been going through this for time and time and time and time again, this is not going to work. Okay, so do not go back. Do not go back to your old ways. Do not float back into someone's life, or do not let them float back into your life, depending on who's who. Okay, and basically turn this person down and say no, and continue to move away and do not go back. That is your actual message so far. Okay, I'm going to have to leave this slightly, because all these are major, or mani, from mani. But like, you know, all of these are very minor cards. They're all very minor, but they're not. You see, they're not. They're serious cards. It's just that somebody won't take someone seriously. It's because they're not interested. That's why. Someone worries that the other person's really not taking the situation of the relationship seriously. It's because they're not. It's probably because they're really not bothered about the relationship at all, you know. Some people don't get that, you know. They keep trying to change a person, thinking that, well, you're not bothered about talking, you're not bothered about speaking, you're not really bothered about what I'm doing. No, of course I'm not. I'm bothered more about what I'm doing. So I'm not bothered about all these games. I'm physically already left. Okay, so chapter closed. You don't need closure. It's finished. Okay, so there you go. That's what reading I've got for you so far. If you want to continue with the rest of the reading, it will be on tier 1 and also the full access bundle. After the monthlies, the weekly may only be on the full access bundle. That starts from the 1st. Okay, I don't think I'm going to be doing many star sign readings on here and then going over to there and then also doing everything else. I might just do the channeling stuff on here and then your tarot readings be over on Patreon. And I will also continue to do the daily or the every other day, do the actual general tarot reading and channeling all in one go. But when it comes to your actual star signs, I may only really just stick with the monthlies, but everything after that, I'm kind of thinking of changing things up and basically just sticking with the people that want your star sign of your weekly energies or your bi-weekly energies or the you versus them on their thoughts and their feelings. All of those kind of things are basically going to be over on Patreon. Okay, I may just stick with doing your channeled stuff, and then if you want the tarot reading, go over to Patreon, or I'll do general readings of other stuff that is relating to a lot of people also at the moment. So I really appreciate you guys sticking in there with me. Thanks so much. I hope you're okay with the changes. It's just that I need to try and work out my time, like have some time off also, but also still do it. So I'm trying to like organise things to be fair for everybody, but then also get paid, because I'm finding it very difficult to keep up, okay, with the demand of personal readings and so on and so forth. Okay, so I think I might do that just for a little while. Okay, but thank you so much. If you want to join, you can find all links provided below to Patreon or emails to personal readings, so on and so forth. But let's see what you're going to have coming up for the rest of your month and the turn up of the books for the actual month of August. Okay, all right guys, thanks very much, and I'll see you soon.